Hello YouTube, Dave here again, and today we are back with our character creation series as we're going to be making a Call of Cthulhu 7th edition character. So the poll for this actually went up quite a while ago, but the summer has been a little busy, I guess is the phrase that I'll use for that. So it's been difficult to find time to work on videos, but we have a little bit of downtime before things start to get really busy again in September. But I'll talk about that in a future moment or future video. Anyway, well, yeah, we're making a Call of Cthulhu character. I actually got the character sheet off of the Chaosium website, and this one is form fillable, which will be kind of nice because my handwriting sucks, and if I can do something where I just have to rely on my horrible typing skills, I'd rather that than really bad handwriting. So we're going to be using the quick start rule, sort of like the quick fire method for character creation, because it's my favorite version of the character creation rules. And if I were to run Call of Cthulhu, and on the occasions where I have run Call of Cthulhu, that's the method that I've had the players use. So we're just going to go through real quick here and just get right down to the meat and potatoes, so to speak. So we've got our attributes here. So as you can see, we've got strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence, size, which is kind of like your physical, how physically imposing you are. It's also used for like part of like your hit points and stuff like that. Even like strength and size, you combine them and divide them by 10 or something like that, I think is how that works. We have power, which is like willpower. It's not like physical power, it's like willpower. Then we have appearance and education. So we have our 8 attributes, and then we have some things that are like derived from that or separate, like our luck stat. Sanity is going to be equal to power, and magic points. I think it's along the lines of something to do with intelligence. It's been a little while, but I'm hoping that these sheets will fill in a lot of the numbers for me. So we're going to make our investigator. It's going to be 1920s era investigator. So we're going to assign his attributes. The profession that we choose, which we'll take a look at here in a moment, gives you 8 skills, and we have some percentage points that we can assign, excuse me, to those 8 skills. Then we get 4 personal hobby or personal interest skills, which just take the base chance to succeed and adds 20 to them. So we'll kind of see if you look down here, like accounting, for example, has a 5% next to it. So if I wanted accounting as a personal interest, which would be really dull, then that would go from 5 to 25. So we'll go through that. And we'll give our character a little bit of possessions and gear, not too much though. So let's just go ahead and get right into this, shall we? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to name our character. We're going to go with Wallace Humphreys. There, I like that one. Birthplace, we'll go with Salem, Massachusetts. That's where my father-in-law was born and lived uh, most of his childhood there, or a good portion of his childhood. We're going to be a male character. Occupation, so let's go here and take a look at the quick start rules. So they do give us some sample occupations. And on one point on the screen, you can't see that. But we've got like antiquarian, author, dilettante, the doctor of medicine, journalist, which is the one I'm probably going to go with. We've got police slash detective, private investigator, or professor. So we are going to make a journalist. So our uh, that would be our profession, our occupation. Residence, he'll be residing in Boston. Why not? And we'll make him 34 years old. All right. So the concept that I have for this character is that he's more like book smart type of thing, not really dependent on physical and like stature, right? So he's going to be more of a cerebral type of character. Sorry, I just need to take a little drink there. Talking. This is my like third attempt at this video because I keep forgetting to put things in it. But anyway, um, so yeah, we're gonna focus our primary attributes on the more like intelligence based kind of stuff. So we got for our attributes, we have a 40, 350s, 260s, a 70, and an 80. So we want his intelligence, so I'm going to give that one the 80. Education, I'm going to give 70, and his willpower is going to be 60. So we do have we have another 60, three 50s, and a 40. I think, truthfully, we'll put the 40 in his size. Let's put the 60 in his dex, so he's kind of lithe, but maybe a little agile. And then we got 50, 50, 50. Okay. And the great thing about this sheet as well is it fills in your derived numbers. So, like for your attributes, you have like a regular success, which is rolling your attribute or less on a percentile dice. Um, but if you get like half or less, it could be considered like a hard success, and or sometimes certain roles will require you. Words are hard today. Require you to actually make a hard success in order to accomplish something. And then you've got 1/5, which would be like an extreme success. And as always the case, I think if you roll like 95% or above on your percentile dice, it's generally bad. But we've got that there. Sanity, I know, is equal to our willpower, so we're going to put that in there. And then for luck, let's see here. Secondary attributes. So luck. Luck begins at 3d6 multiplied by 5. So we're going to see how lucky our journalist is. If I can get this thing in a dice open. Holy crap! They made this Ziploc bag like childproof. That, or I just have like no fingernails. All right. So we've got our d6. So these are just the starter set dice, but we have them there. So let's just go ahead and roll. Our first number is a 2. So 3 is 5, and 4 is 9. So we are going to have 45 luck points. So that's, well, we have 45 luck. So you can roll luck, I think, to try to have something like change the results of a previous roll. But you can also, I think, you have to spend luck points as well. Oh no, that's what you do. You spend your luck points to adjust your roll. So yeah, 45 is not great. I kind of wish I was sticking with the, hold on. Just kind of wish that I didn't screw up the last time I tried to record this video, because he had like 70 luck points. So that changed quite a bit, but we're doing this the proper way. All right, so we got our hit points are 9. We have 12 magic points. We have our 45 luck and our 60 sanity. So now we're going to get into our skills. So we have 8 primary skills from our occupation, and then we're going to have 4 hobby skills. So the 4 hobby skills, like I said, they're pretty easy. You just take the base chance and add 20% to it. But for the journalists, here are our skills. So we've got, get out of there. So we have art/craft photography, history, library use, own language, and then 1 interpersonal skill. So it could be charm, fast talk, intimidate, or persuade. Psychology, and then 2 other skills. And for those, we get, where is it here? So we get 1 at 70, 2 at 60, 3 at 50, and 3 at 40%. So that's the way that that's going to work. So we do have library use, and I want that to be the 70% because he's a journalist. One of the things that he does well is that he researches things. I'm also going to give him a persuade of 60 because he tries to get the information out of people. We have another 60 to use. So what do we have for that? Let's see. So psychology, psychology. Yeah, that'll be the other. That will be the other 60, I think. Okay. And then we've got what? 50s? How many 50s do we have? We have 3 50s and 3 40s. All right. So for our set skills, We have photography, history, and then own language. Now, own language actually uses your education, so technically I'm going to use one of the 40s on that, but we are going to take English, and his education level is 60, right? Yeah, no, 70. Okay. So 70 for education. So that's one of our 40s technically gone. Um, so we got, what, 350s, right? I'm really bad. I have a really bad short-term memory. I'm starting to learn that as I get older, I've got a really bad short-term memory. All right. So we'll go with art, craft, photography. Uh, let's actually make that one of the other 40s because I'm not so like normally like a journalist will have like a photographer that he works with, so we can do it more or less hobbyist. How many we haven't used any 50s yet, right? So history will be at 50, and I think that's all of our set skills, right? So that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we get 2 more of our choosing. So for those two, we're going to take spot hidden at 50%, and we'll take we'll take let's take a no we'll take listen at 50% as well. That's those seem like kind of like good journalist abilities. But then we also get our four hobbyist things. We also have our dodge, which is equal to half of our dex. Our dex is 60, so half of our dex will be 30 for dodge. So let's go with occult for one of our hobbyist skills. So it starts at a base of 5%, and that's going to go up to 25. So that's one of them. Let's see, what's another one that we could do there? Oh crap, I needed our credit rating. That had to be one of them. So wait, so one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. We've got 150, 250. So we have our 50s used. So we have a 40 left, right? Because I've only used one of them so far. Two. Okay, that's the credit rating, 40%. That's fine. All right, there we go. So now our hobbyist skills. We'll do drive auto, so that'll go up to 40% as well. So that's 2. Locksmithing, he's probably not necessarily adverse to trying to break in, so that goes up to 21%. And we'll go with psychoanalysis. So we'll do that one. That starts at 1%, so that'll be 21. Okay, so there we go. So we've got our 4 hobby skills as well as our 8 regular skills, our profession skills, and our credit rating selected there. So we're almost done with our character. So we're just going to come down here. We do have a few things that we have to look at. So we have our wealth information. Now I know that our credit rating of 40% gives us an average reasonable level of comfort. So we've got an okay amount of, like we're not poor, but we're not like we don't have a lot of like extra money, so to speak. But we do get by and we do live relatively okay. So for our credit rating, our spending level for which is an average living standards. See, spending level is going to be set to $10. So basically any item, kind of, it's like a daily type of thing if you really want to use it. It's more of an abstract concept. So if something is $10 or less, you don't have to actually spend money to get it. You just like assume that you have that ability to buy something of that value on a given day, or like with every couple of days or something like that. You don't want to go too crazy with it, but it'd be something that like in a pinch, if we had to get something before we go to investigate, then we'd be able to do that. Our cash is our credit rating times 2, so that's $80 that we have on hand. And that doesn't necessarily have to be on our person. It could be stored in like a safe deposit box. It could be on like a money belt if you wanted to carry it with you. It could be in a wallet. So there's that. And then our assets are equal to our credit rating times 50. So that is going to give us a $2,000 in assets. Oop. So there we go. And we're not going to get too specific into that. It says assets are things your investigator owns at the start of play, and the dollar amount on the chart, the total value of those things. Players should note down the dollar amount, decide the form it takes, usually property or investments, or perhaps shares in the business. So what do we have here? So $2,000 for assets. We'll say that one of those is Ford. So he's got like a car sounds maybe a little bit too fancy. So just in investments, because he's going to be living like in an apartment kind of thing. So he's got his $2,000 in assets tied up in like various stock market things. And then just for gear and possession. So again, we're just going to do some really basic stuff that our journalist would have on him. His treasured possession, though, that's going to be his press pass. And for his gear, he's going to have his trusty notebook. He'll have a pencil. We'll give him a pocket knife, which you might need to actually put into our, because you might be able to use that for attacks. It basically uses the knife to sharpen the pencil. It is the 1920s, so he has a pack of smokes. And he's got a book of matches. There we go. Stop that. All right, perfect. And then for physical description, we're not going to go too much into all this stuff, but we will do a physical description of him here. So he's going to be thin, angular, facial features, tall, pale skinned, slick back, black hair, and blue eyes. There we go. So we don't have any phobias or manias or any of that stuff yet. We don't have any encounters with strange entities. We're not going to get too much into that, but I just want to see I do want to see if pocket knife is in the equipment. So we'll take a look at that real quick. Just got to find where the equipment is in this book, because I think pocket knife is something that you can attack with. Okay, here we go. So we do have weapons on page 401 of the core rulebook. So we're just looking for knife, small, like a switchblade. Yeah, that might count. So let's do this to the switchblade. Oh, our brawl skill is not very good, is it? Which I think it does use the brawling type, right? Yeah, it does. Okay. So brawling, 25%. Okay. I guess I can't fill that one in. That's weird. So 25. And we'll just go with pocket knife. And the damage on a pocket knife is, I think, a D4. And we don't have a damage bonus, right? We're not that good. Yeah, we don't. Okay. So 1D4. Number of attacks 1. And we're not going to worry about the range because it is a knife, it is a stabbing weapon. All right, so there we go. We got everything figured out here. So we got Wallace Humphreys, a journalist from Boston, born in Salem, lives in Boston now, 34-year-old male. He is thin, tall. He's got angular facial features, slightly pale-skinned, slick back black hair and blue eyes. 50 strength, 50 con, 60 dex, 80 intelligence, 40 for size. That's kind of, again, that tall, thin frame. 60 for his willpower, 50 for appearance, and 70 for education. He's got 45 luck and 60 sanity starting out with 9 hit points and 12 magic points. Primary skills are going to be library use as well as the just knowing like the English language. He's also good at persuasion. I thought we had persuasion and psychology are sort of his major things. He's also good at spotting hidden items or details that might be useful to him as a journalist. He's okay at photography. He lives comfortably. He can drive a car. So yeah. Anyway, I think he's kind of a decent character here. So I'll be saving him. But there we go. That was the character creation for 7th edition Call of Cthulhu. I really hope I didn't miss anything this time because, like I said, this is my third time's the charm, right? But I do have a lot of fun doing these. And yeah, if I did miss anything, please let me know in the comments below. I always appreciate it. But until next time, the next video in this series is either going to be Dragon Age or 3.0 D&D. Those were the two things that were relatively close to each other in the last poll that I put up. And I know I've had some people say, well, why don't you just do 3.5? Why bother with 3.0? It's like I got a lot of things that I want to create characters for, and this series 3.5 is going to be on a list, right? I think it was actually even on one of the original polls that I put up. So we're going to get to it. Pathfinder First Edition, same thing. We'll get to it. There's all kinds of stuff that we're going to do. But I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, thank you all so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I will see you all next time. Until then, take care.